is Adrienne Ward, and today I want to talk to you about the importance of vaccines. Vaccines are one of the greatest healthcare breakthroughs of the last century. Diseases that were once rampant, such as polio and smallpox, have all been eradicated in the population, thanks to the research and implementation efforts of countless scientists and physicians. According to the World Health Organization, immunization prevents illness, disability, and death from vaccine-preventable diseases. And immunization currently averts an estimated 2 to 3 million deaths every year. Recently, however, there has been a shift in public attitudes regarding the benefits of vaccinations, thanks in part to inaccurate information perpetuated by faulty science. Many people are choosing not to have themselves or their children vaccinated, as they believe that side effects from vaccines are more dangerous than contracting the disease itself. I will demonstrate today that vaccines are not just beneficial, but should be mandatory for the population at large. To begin with, vaccinations are quite safe and have been extensively studied over several decades. Vaccines consist of either dead or very weak viruses or bacteria, and there are over 24 different diseases for which they are available. For example, the hepatitis B vaccine is made of dead, non-infectious material and serves to help the body develop an immunity to the disease without the individual having to contract the full-blown illness. Another example is the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, also called the MMR, and contains a weakened strain of the virus, also called an attenuated version, that are effective enough to help the body create an immunity, but again, weak enough to prevent the actual diseases from occurring. While there are certain risks involved with vaccination, the degree of benefit received far outweighs the dangers. For most vaccine-preventable diseases, the rates of infection have been reduced by 95% worldwide since their introduction, as reported by the FDA. The CDC states, while some of the sickness or reactions that follow vaccination may be caused by the vaccine, many are unrelated events that occur by coincidence after vaccination. There have been claims that diseases such as autism and other learning disabilities are directly caused by childhood vaccinations, though there is no evidence that directly supports these claims. A research article published in March of 2013 states that the amount of antigens, the supposed culprit in the onset of autism spectrum disorder, those amount of antigens children received in vaccines was equivalent whether or not they developed autism. In essence, quote, this study demonstrates that autism spectrum disorder is not associated with immunological stimulation from vaccines during the first 2 years of life. But like any medication, allergic reactions can develop after an injection. This can range from a mild case, such as redness at the injection site, all the way up to anaphylaxis. However, the latter happens only in a handful of cases. There are only a small amount of conditions for which vaccines should be avoided. This includes individuals having an infection or fever on the day of administration, or if the person is immunocompromised. This can result in the person developing a full-blown case of the disease, since their immune system cannot handle the introduction of foreign pathogens. Because many people incorrectly believe that vaccines are to blame for instances of learning disabilities and onset of the autism spectrum disorder, many parents and adults alike are choosing not to get vaccinated. This is very dangerous, not just for the person who goes without immunizations, but also for those in our midst who cannot receive vaccines and depend on the health and vaccination status of the general population. According to the principle of herd immunity, as described by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, if most of the population is immunized against a certain disease, those people who can't get vaccinated are protected from the illness, since it most likely won't be widespread. This is a good example of why flu shots are crucial, even for people who are healthy. But with so many people choosing not to get vaccinated or vaccinate their families, herd immunity is dwindling in certain regions of the country. So outbreaks of measles, mumps, and pertussis, just to name a few, that had all been but done away with, are now returning. Taking all this information into account, it is clear then that vaccinations are not just important, but should be mandatory to protect the health and safety of the population. Most schools already require proof of vaccination before the start of the school year, but currently there are many loopholes, such as exemptions for religious beliefs. While infringing on privacy laws and freedom of choice are not the intention, public health should be the priority when creating protocols for vaccination schedules. For those who don't get vaccinated because of needle phobias, some vaccines are available in an inhaled or pill version. However, as adults, we should be able to see the evidence which points to the benefits of immunizations and make the smart choice to protect ourselves, our families, and our community from easily preventable diseases. Given the severity of the issue, it shouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that in the future, vaccines become mandatory. In closing, while vaccines have become a hot-button issue in the past 2 years, the evidence clearly shows that their benefit outweighs the risks of getting vaccinated against communicable diseases like hepatitis B, mumps, tetanus, and more. It is the responsibility of the entire population to ensure they are properly immunized. After all, it is not just for their health, but for everyone around them. Thank you for your time.